So, Halloween 4 Part 2 or don't do it. For those a little confused, there's some buzz in the Halloween fandom that we might get a follow up to Halloween 4. And if you're a little confused, you're like, wait, don't we have Halloween 5 already? If you have seen Halloween 5, and my own personal opinion is it's fairly weak, but it's not super terrible. But it's a little weird. So minor spoilers, but Jamie and a few of the other characters, and essentially it seemed that they were leaning into making her Michael Myers, or at least her psychic powers made her susceptible to Michael's curse, or whatever we're going to call it, his evil essence. And it seemed they were going to go down that route, but then with Halloween 5, they kind of pivoted it away.
It's happening, but it's official that Dwight H. Little stated this. That's what I'm trying to get across. Dwight Little is interested in working on a Halloween TV series and has pitched a sequel to Halloween 4. Halloween Ends may have killed iconic.
But I do think they set up the Thorn trilogy, even with Halloween. The way they did it felt a little disjointed. The director of Halloween 4 is confirming that, but actually he pitched it to a COD who controls Halloween and is going to be doing it with Miramax. It is on the table, and it is actually a real possibility because, as some people are speculating, they're probably going to do like a Halloween cinematic universe to match the MCU. And if you are a hardcore fan, we kind of have this already, right? We have very different continuities, different versions of Michael. And I don't like to say it, but I guess technically the David Gordon Green one, because we have the first film, and then we have parts one, two, three, four, five, etc., etc. And the David Gordon Green trilogy technically begins with part one. So what do I think? Well, I'm kind of torn. I do think Halloween 4 is very good. It's a very strong film. It's really interesting. And I do think it did an excellent job of. So it felt like a very strong sequel, but it did continue the story from part one. On the other hand, and I want to thank a few YouTubers who are brave enough to say this, but what if they do it and it's really bad?
And I'm going crazy, and you might think that I would automatically think this movie is going to be amazing. But I have to be honest, this movie could be made and it could be really bad. It could be really bad.
In principle, yeah, this would be a very exciting project. Jamie is up for it, right? The actress who played Jamie, she's willing to do it. She has done a little bit more work in horror, but she wants to centrally be a part of the quote new Halloween. And as far as I know, Akkad is not hostile to the idea. But again, we have that other end of the stick that, yeah, getting the old people, getting the original director. But as Drum Dum said, maybe he should be sort of helping with the ideas, maybe as a producer. But again, this could still get really stupid, really bad because I like the Thorn trilogy. I don't hate it as much as other people, but that was the dilemma: is like, how do you move on from part four? Whatever they do with 4.2 be the same problem. It's like, well, some people will be like, oh, that was really interesting, and other people will be, oh, that was really dumb. They wasted my time, and it's not going to go anywhere, right? Will it be its own separate universe? Will it only be one sequel? Will it be its own trilogy? He has officially pitched it, so it could really happen. I mean, you look at Buffy. Buffy began in that way. I mean, Joss had very rudimentary ideas, and he was lucky enough to get people who were interested. And I liked the movie a lot, but they didn't really hold faithful to what he wanted. But you got it started, and then they wanted to redo it as a TV show, and of course, the rest is history. So these things do start off very small, then snowball into something much bigger. So will it be a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer in a whole new Slayerverse with Michael? Too soon to tell. Could be the beginning of a very interesting universe, but so I'm very curious. So I will do more follow up, but it is out there, so we'll have to wait and see if it goes anywhere or maybe deserves to be thought about but not actualized.